Welcome to our next race of the ALTTP Randomizer League.
Yes, indeed. This is week 1 of 7 weeks of Swiss, and it looks like our runners are just getting started.
This is open, all dungeons with co-op also between the players, so they can let each other know where things are located, I believe.
Yes, indeed. Each pair of our racers, are in a Discord call, sharing information and coordinating checks. On the left-hand side, we've got the Noble Foxes Academy. On the right-hand side, we've got Amish Paradise with Jawsomesauce and Dorana in sync, finding our first sword on Uncle.
Vanilla, anyone? And a book looks like in the Uncle chest. So that might indicate an early Desert Palace check. Got Radical Sniper heading for Lost Woods to see what's there. Probably a important part of co-op is letting your teammate know where you're going so you can go somewhere else and find out what's there.
Yep, and it looks like we just got a map check over on Amish Paradise side. We've got a pendant in Desert Palace. That's a little less important since this is an all-dungeon seed today.
True.
Dorana taking that sword and saying, "What the heck, escapes right here," as I'm going to take a wild stab at this pronunciation and say anglhz, heading into Kakariko Village. Radical Sniper also heading into the village, but from the other side.
Jawsomesauce checking out Sasha's closet. And we got a second sword in there. And a hammer. So Sahashtala is definitely a good play. And the boots over in Blind's hut, my favorite item.
Always nice to see those boots. See those boots early. It's a real feels bad when a race gets decided by early boots found in an out-of-the-way spot. So nice to have it someplace where the majority of our runners will be able to find it very early.
No Hyrule walking tours today. And again, since this is co-op, they will be letting their teammates know what is to be found. And looks like we have a hook shot down in the dam. So we've already got some really interesting items on the board. And a glove, it looks like. Didn't see where it was found, though. Was that in Zelda's cell?
May have been. That is where Dorana is right now.
That is not a nice place for that. We also got a bottle from Blind's Hut, so we'll be checking out what Sick Kid has to offer.
Jawsome piecing out of the dam, decides to go grab their boots here. It'll be interesting to see where Dorana decides to go. Where anyone decides to go post-dam. We've got the book pulling folks left towards desert, that hook shot making life a lot easier in South Shore to kill mini Moldorms with. Lots of routing options here.
And if they felt so inclined, especially Dorana with the glove, could go up to Death Mountain early without the lamp. I personally like the idea of going to desert, but it looks like Dorana is not going that way. Sick Kid just having 3 bombs. Mini Moldorm's giving Dorana a little bit of trouble, looks like. As they do.
Heavily RNG dependent movement patterns on those enemies, but Dorana is rewarded with flippers and some health. And a flute. Great early find.
Getting a lot of major items early in the seed here. That's going to open things up really quickly. Flute also gives us access to Death Mountain without having to do the Dark Room. I missed that. It was half magic in the chicken set, another one of my favorite items.
Looks like Dorana's going to take those flippers and get those checks out of the way. They're right here. Why not? And is rewarded with the Titans on Hobo.
Wow.
So we have both Titans and Hammer discovered on either side of things, but the big question mark remains, where is that Moon Pearl hiding?
That is the big question. 6 minutes in with this item set, that's quite amazing.
I don't believe we've seen the inside of Eastern Palace yet. That'd be my guess. RNGesus likes to stick progression in there, just in case you were thinking of waiting until it's clearable.
Well, we do have the flute, so once that's activated, they can go up to Death Mountain and actually get a whole lot of items on Eastern Death Mountain. And Hera is open, although if it's locked by the key, well, I was going to say it could be locked by fire, but with the hook shot, the Hera pot trick can allow them to get through there easily enough. Another good point from chat is the flute plus mitts also opens up the... I was going to say opens up the mire area, but you need a Moon Pearl, so you need a mirror to go with that. The puddle vendor giving 300 rupees for the 100 you give him, so bonus of 200 rupees. Having a little bit of overlapping checks here. People checking the spots that other people have already checked. Dorana's close to getting the boots, although has not gone to Blaine's hut just yet. Jawsome going to activate the flute in a moment.
Ooh, and Radical Sniper just saved and quit to Link's house, but pieced out without picking that up. I was under the impression that's where the gloves were hiding.
Yeah, that was interesting. I might have been mistaken about that glove location. Radical heading towards Eastern. We may see a dip into Eastern here in a moment. Jawsome activating the flute.
Chat correcting us. Glove is in the boomerang chest in Escape.
Alright, I missed the location on that. Thank you, Chad.
And
Jossum going for the dark cave there. Gonna free the old man from the darkness.
it looks like Radical is heading towards escape. If they decide to go inside after speaking with Uncle, then that means Amish Paradise will have the opportunity to collect both the gloves and the hammer, potentially giving them a bit of a routing advantage when getting into Dark World.
And since Dorana just found the boots, Noble Foxes will soon be sprinting around with the best of them. Kind of interesting, we have not yet seen Back of Escape checked. Normally when I get the glove, I almost immediately check Back of Escape, but I don't think we've seen it yet.
I don't believe we have either. I also haven't been paying close attention to those escape item counts. I'm curious whether we'll have something in Dark Cross.
I definitely saw the map, I believe in its vanilla location in Escape.
I believe you're right, so we're just looking for that key to see whether Dark Cross is skippable. As Jawsome gives us our first look at the mountain.
And it looks like the old man actually had the mirror. More vanilla for you. Yep,
That's
we just saw the glove
find.
there.
Especially with both Master Sword and book in tow. It's always nice. And there's the Moon Pearl on the Hera tablet.
So this seed has opened up really, really quickly.
So depending on how Noble Foxes routes this, if they manage to grab that hammer before heading up to the mountain, they might find themselves with full dark and light mountain access on the first trip. That would be very nice for them.
Jawsome setting up for Harapot. And does it just fine. Also has the big key in tow, so won't miss that big chest item in case it's there.
Let's see if Angle's 500 rupees at Zora pays off. Nope, it's a life lesson.
What a scam.
As Dorana gives us our first look at the inside of Desert Palace.
Did not see what was on Desert Ledge. Meanwhile, Jawsome heading up to Moldorm. Using hammer strats, which should result in only 3 hits to finish the job. Nicely done. I believe there's an item in Hera's basement. We'll see if Jawsome goes for it or decides to skip it for now.
Well, I believe he's going to have to skip it for now. He does not have a fire source at the moment.
Right, thank you.
Of course, depending on what he finds in Paradox Cave, he might have the opportunity to double back.
Now we get our first looks at East Death Mountain. While Angles, or Angels, apologies if I pronounced that wrong, is activating their flute.
Radical Sniper showing off a bit of water walk tech as Dorana finds the ice rod in desert. That'll come in handy, but not until much later in the seed.
With the book in tow, I don't expect Amish Paradise to miss that particular item too easily. Jossum getting the Fisher Prize My First Shield. Finds a fire rod. That will help with Hera.
Yep, that's oh, but looks like they're considering a save and quit, and they are going for the save and quit, leaving that behind for the moment. That'll be something that Radical Sniper might consider picking up, going up the mountain with a little bit of extra knowledge.
And items. Jawsome doesn't actually have any gloves, which is a bit interesting. I think Jawsome was busy already on the mountain by the time Radical found the gloves, so...
And there goes Angles, I believe, if both of us didn't miss it, giving us our first look at backside escape. And there's the key, so there will be something in Dark Cross, and it looks like Angles is going for it, going to attempt it blind.
Literally. Meanwhile, Dorana is heading for East Death Mountain to find the fire rod in a moment. Radical is also doing the back of escape. And Jawsome is going for the Hype Cave area. And we find a piece of heart in Dark Cross.
Hype Cave being an entire nothing burger today. Nothing meat on a nothing bun.
0 of 10 would not hype again. There's our map check of the Dark World. Green pendant in Mire, red pendant on Palace of Darkness, and 5-6 crystals on Thieves Town and Skull Woods.
Angles heading into Sage's closet, giving the Noble Foxes Academy their first look at Hammer.
Looks like Jawsome is going for Swamp Palace, and given the items that they have, that makes perfect sense to me. Again, this being an all-dungeon seed, they will be finishing every single dungeon, whether it's a pendant or a crystal.
Yes, indeed, and with 6 checks to choose from, Swamp Palace, and so many items gating it, Swamp Palace is a really nice option this early in the seed.
Question is, will they leave left side swamp or go ahead and check it now? It would actually make sense if they went ahead and checked it now. Only one runner has to do it, as they are co-oping, so anything of interest they can communicate to their partner.
Yes, indeed. And with Jawsome just finding the compass in that first swamp chest, he knows there's going to be at least one item lurking in left side. In co-op, it definitely pays to be a little thorough. It's You're essentially spending only half the time on average between the two runners. Whereas the earlier you can hit go mode, everything that you are able to skip because you're go moded, you're essentially getting twice the value for.
Looks like Dorana may be heading for Eastern Palace. Oh, never mind. They changed their mind.
With the angles already in Eastern, you typically don't want both of your runners checking the same checks at the same time.
I just saw that.
Jawsome showing off one of the flashier new glitches that's been legalized in the past year. Diver down, utilizing a bomb to hit that crystal switch, just making left side swamp so much easier than it used to be. Oh, and that's a feels bad on Dorana's end. Finds the information of where the Moon Pearl is hiding, but does not have the second sword to actually collect it right this second.
And I believe that was in Sahaswala's closet.
I believe you're right. So they will know from angles exactly where to go to get it. But that's going to mean a second mountain climb.
The other sword, just to inform everyone, was on Uncle.
Jawsome finds the bow getting paid off for that left side swamp play. That makes Eastern Palace clearable with a very easy dark room. And I believe with some slightly more challenging dark rooming should make Pod clearable as well. Very convenient to route together with that mirror.
Dorana also pulling off a nice Hera pod glitch and working their way up Hera Tower.
And since Dorana does have that fire rod in tow, they will be able to check that basement. But we'll see whether they decide to do so. Even in co-op, that is a rather lengthy wait for one item.
More diver down from Jawsome.
Slightly trickier with bomb strats, but Jawsome gets it on the first try both times. And speaking of thoroughness, opts to... Oh, I thought he was heading towards Big Chest, but...
He is. It looks like they missed the way to get up that staircase without getting sucked back down in the first shot.
Makes sense.
The way to do that is you do a, I believe it's called a key dash from the very bottom of the screen, and then as you come up, you got to hold left, and then you'll end up inside the door, and then you can walk out easily.
Dorana taking an unfortunate fall to everyone's favorite troll dorm here. Having to rely on NMG strats for that fight, which is one of the slower and less reliable ways to fight this particular boss.
Oh no.
I hate to see that.
Yeah, taking on Moldorm with only a fire sword is not fun. I can almost sense the frustration from here.
Radical Sniper working through his coffee break, taking down those tiles the hard way to give us our first peek at Hera Basement. Just arrows.
Jawsome working on Argus. Opting for double slashes, it looks like.
Yep, this is one of those boss fights that's not dangerous, but it is tedious. As Dorana gets their revenge on that trolley worm. In this very close race so far, Amish Paradise with a slight dungeon lead, but still very much anybody's match.
And anglhz is working their way through East Death Mountain as well. And has the mitts in tow, so they will be able to check the dark side. Speaking of, that's exactly what Radical Sniper is doing, and finds, what was that? The Ether Medallion in hookshot, and the lamp, finally. That will make Palace of Darkness a much easier task.
And after taking Argus down, Jawsome is heading towards our other tablet, the Desert Tablet.
Nothing in Super Bunny Cave, and nothing on the tablet, it looks like.
And we've also learned that that Ether Medallion is going to come in handy. It is our key to Turtle Rock. Not much to be done in there until the red cane rears its head, but good knowledge for later.
Now Radical checking out the Mire area to probably check the medallion on the palace there, which is either as well.
Well, you know what they say about that middle medallion. Either it comes in handy or it doesn't. And today it very much does.
Chat pointing out very correctly that we are only a Cane of Samaria away from Go mode as far as items go. So it may come down to whoever finds that cane first.
It may indeed. Of course, that's the knowledge that we have, but Amish Paradise is still going to need to find that ice rod, whereas Noble Foxes are going to need to find that bow. So on either respective end, they're at least 2 items away from Go mode.
Although I believe Radical Sniper is about to find that ice rod here in Desert Palace.
I believe you're right. Any number of places that red cane could be hiding. Lots of dungeons to be cleared between Pod, Thieves Town. I don't believe we've seen any Skullwoods. Could be an ice depending on key layouts.
Since Dorana has not gone back for the second sword, I believe they're still co-oping and trying to check locations as quickly as possible, which is a good tactic, I think, for co-op.
And especially with Dorana sticking largely to those early Light World dungeons where having only a fighter sword isn't that much of a handicap. Jawsomesauce poking his head into Pod, another check-dense dungeon here today.
A little bit of sync between Dorana and Radical Sniper here, both getting to Lanmolas at about the same time. Jawsome finding a key in the first chest in Palace of Darkness means they can continue through the front door and start checking the front.
And blink and you'll miss that Landmo fight from Radical Sniper with a beautiful zero-cycle fire rod fight. And Dorana, not to be outdone, pulls off the same strat. Very nice.
Radical checking the rock in the desert to see if anything's there. And finds the Cane of Samaria.
Well, that puts Amish Paradise between the two of them in go mode. At 31 minutes and change.
Now they have the minor task of finishing the rest of the dungeons.
Yes, indeed. And they are going to be looking out for the silvers or tempered would be the big items that could help them out here.
Yeah. Where was that bow? Please remind me.
That was on left side
Left side
swamp.
swamp, right.
Thank you, chat.
And neither of the noble foxes have checked swamp yet.
Yes, thank you in particular to Dark Diplomat, one of our trackers here today. Big thanks to both of our trackers and our restreamer, the unsung heroes that make everything happen and pay attention to things so that we can pay attention to talking. It looks like anglhz is heading into Swamp Palace, so assuming that Noble Foxes does not opt to skip left side, they should be following into go mode in short order here. At least I'm assuming anglhz heads into Swamp Palace next. They need to get good and disappointed in Hype Cave first.
Yes, to confirm in question in chat, Checkerboard Cave did have the Cane of Samaria, which so far Radical's the only one who's actually been there, but I'm sure Jawsome also knows. Again, this being co-op, the players are communicating with themselves, so they know where everything is.
Yes, so excellent point by chat. Noble Foxes will in fact be an item from go mode even after finding that bow. Radical Sniper heading into their Vitreous fight. Bit of a tough fight here with only Master Sword. No silvers or even bow to make this any easier.
Or cape, which is one of my favorite things to use.
Taking an unfortunate hit by the lightning.
Only 2 hearts left. And takes a death. Ouch. Oh, has a fairy.
I was about to say, I knew they had a bottle. I had no idea what was inside it.
Yeah, all those eyes coming at you can really do a number on your nerves, and then the lightning doesn't help either.
No, indeed. And there is just plain no safe place to stand in this fight. Ooh, taking another lightning strike. Those lightning blasts more likely to hit the center of the screen, but they can go all the way to the edge.
Down to 2 hearts again.
Radical Sniper in what we call Oko mode. One hit will take them down. My heart's in my throat. Still a lot of eyeballs to fight.
More like oh no mode.
And with no bow, that final phase, which is usually a bit of a gimme, will still require full attention. Down to 3 eyeballs as Jawsome takes on Helmasaur.
Oh, no.
You hate to see it.
Oh no.
Meanwhile, on the left-hand side of the screen, Dorana has found the red cane as anglhz heads into left side swamp, so they are about to go from 2 items to full go mode.
Should be noted, just in passing, that quick swap is enabled for these seeds, as you just saw on Radical's screen. You can use the left and right buttons to switch between items very quickly.
Radical Sniper opting to fill up their safeties and wisely piece out of mire for the moment. They're in go mode. They can go back to that whenever they want, hopefully after finding another sword, a mail upgrade, silver arrows, any number of things could make their lives easier.
I think Jawsome has taken the duty of looking in extra chests to see if he can find anything. Or they.
Oddly, Radical Sniper looking to head towards Pod. Have they picked up their bow? I don't believe they have. Oh, and looks like they had the same thought. Yep. Like, oops, something I forgot to do.
anglhz just picked up their bow. Looks like Noble Foxes is now in item go mode. At about 37.5 minutes, I believe that's what, 5 minutes difference?
5 or 6, I believe. So very close. This is the sort of race that's just going to come down to execution, potentially some GT routing choices.
And finding a third sword or silvers would also be a big boon. Just finding one of those will cut the time for the Ganon fight in half.
That is the thing about co-op mode, since you typically wind up doing fewer checks, you'd think, well, this is easy mode, right? I have more information. Not so. You tend to wind up in low percent situations more often than in normal solo mode.
I got dueling boss fights, Bothula on Dorana and the Armos Knights on Jawsome. Jawsome taking care of Armos Knights quite easily and finding the Quake Medallion, which is useless.
Ooh, and Dorana takes down that moth with only 1 heart left. That's another one of those fights that can go real bad real quick. Lots of RNG and spikes that do not care about your armor.
Well done.
And Dorana opting to make an optional check here in Skull Woods. Still hoping to find Something to make their lives a little easier, but 300 bucks won't do it.
Just going by dungeon counts, you can see a clear advantage to Amish Paradise. They're about 1 or 2 dungeons ahead, it looks like.
Yes, indeed. Noble Foxes will have the opportunity to close the gap a little by taking on some of the more difficult dungeons like Mire a little later, hopefully with more safeties in the back pocket.
Angl's using spin sword strats on Argus. Very well done.
Yes, indeed. That's one of those strats that looks easier than it is. Also using Fire Rod on that final phase, making it a quick 2-cycle.
Interestingly, we didn't see much of West Dark World or the Blacksmith Chain this seed. None of the important progression items were in there.
Yes, indeed. With so much progression hiding in dungeons and so many dungeons available so early, not a whole lot of incentive to go out of one's way for overworld checks. Jawsomesauce taking down the moth handily. And Dorana being 2 dungeons ahead of anglhz. Still opting to go slightly out of the way for some checks, but nothing paying off quite yet.
And I believe when Jawsome was in Palace of Darkness, they checked probably everything, and I don't think they found anything to show for it, so anglhz will not be finding much of anything here.
Other than potentially an opportunity to make up some time if, knowing that they're in go mode, they opt to just beeline for Helma.
That would help quite a bit.
But it looks like Noble Foxes is committing to being a little thorough today, and it's hard to blame them with such low percentage to their credit. Only one of them has to find some value for it to be useful.
Jawsome heading into Thieves Town to accompany Dorana, it would seem. Going straight for the back, it looks like. Yeah, I missed when Jawsome went in here earlier to already get the big key. Oops. Radical taking out Argus to complete Swamp Palace. As we start getting closer to Gammon's Tower, we'll begin to see who is emerging in the lead.
Oh, and it looks like Dorana picked up a 3rd sword. I didn't see where, although I would assume here in Thieves Town.
Maybe in this chest.
Well, looks like Jawsome.
That is it.
It is the bombable floor room in Thieves Town, so that will make for a much easier Ganon fight. And that's a nice find right along the way. Unfortunately, it does make Noble Fox's decision to go out of their way to check for convenience items, it means it is going to cost them.
Yep, and I would expect neither team to check any more chests at all. Just having the tempered sword is enough for the Genin fight.
I can see an argument for, as Dorana just did, checking the maiden chest, chests like that are right on the same screen. It takes you about a second to check them for. If it happens to be silvers, potentially a significant time save, especially when you've got bosses like Vitreous ahead of you before even reaching Ganon.
Definitely. I suppose as part of co-op, you also note the big key locations so your teammate can get to them rather easily. I have no experience in co-op, so I'm just guessing at this point.
It can be a little tricky. Remembering when your teammate enters that dungeon that you already cleared 20 minutes ago and wants to know, okay, what's my optimum route? What's the key logic? Where do I go? What do I do?
That's where you have pad and paper by your side at all times. So Jawsome only has desert, ice well, okay, they have 4 dungeons to go still. They've completed 5. They currently have the dungeon lead in all 4 racers, although they are teamed up with Radical.
Yes, indeed. And technically, it should be pointed out they do have 5 dungeons because as this is an all-dungeon seed, Aga Tower is always required.
That is a very good point.
And that is one of those things that's very easy to forget. When you get all done with Aga 2, you're ready to jump into that pig fight. Easy to lose a little bit of time forgetting, oh wait, I need to get out my mirror. We have a bit of near sync between anglhz and RadicalSniper finishing up their pod here, heading towards the Helma fight. I'm trying to think what would help Noble Fox's Academy close the gap here. We haven't seen the inside of Ice Palace. If silvers wind up being in, say, Icebreaker Chest, something like that, if they manage to pick it up before heading into Mire, that could help shave some time. Although, with Tempered in tow, that's still going to be a much easier Vitreous fight than Radical had to deal with earlier.
And as our runners are busy clearing dungeons, I want to take an opportunity to ask you to follow these runners as they're putting on a great show for us and taking some risk in having themselves be restreamed. So please do follow them. So once Jawsome gets done with this, they will have, in fact, 4 dungeons to go. Ice, Mire, Turtle Rock and Aga 1. And I believe, as Ben mentioned, the idea is to use your mirror just after doing Aga 2 and then quickly jump over to Aga 1.
Yes, indeed. We see the third quick zero-cycle fire rod landmo fight of the race up there in Jawsome's corner. No respect for those worms today.
And Dorana also doing Diver Down. Or making the attempt. I've not actually tried this trick, but it looks like it's not that hard.
It takes just a little bit of practice knowing where to stand to drop either your bomb or your Samaria block, followed by a tricky little bit of rhythm as you have to jump into the water and angle yourself just right to come out either wedged in between yourself and the Samaria block or in a position to get hit by your bomb and clip into that rail. Takes a couple hours of practice, but very well worth it once you get it down consistently.
Chat making an interesting point that Jawsome has yet to get the Ether Medallion from Hookshot Cave. So that will make their routing just a bit different.
That's true. That's likely to pull them in the direction of Turtle Rock before heading into Mire, which is another dungeon that we haven't seen the inside of yet. And one with quite a few checks.
Most of which we won't be seeing as they're in item go mode. Speaking of which, Dorana picking up their bow, so I believe they have all the items they need. Angles needing the Ice Rod and Canis Samaria. And probably will pick up the Tempered Sword in Thieves' Town as well. Jawsome using Icebreaker to get through that wall and quickly make their way through Ice Palace.
Meanwhile, Angles and Radical Sniper continuing in lockstep heading into Skull Woods together.
Just a frolic through Dark Hyrule.
Jawsome heading into their Cold Stare fight. Should be a fairly manageable fight with quite a few hearts. Half magic, Fire Rod, and Tempered.
Dorana has Argus on slightly easier mode with the Tempered Sword. Got 3 boss fights going on.
Jawsome sending Cold Stare into his corner like a bad little boy.
And Radical taking care of the moth.
And Dorana with a very pretty quick kill on that final phase of Argus, rounding out our trio of boss fights as Angles heads into their own moth fight.
Angles getting bounced around by those spikes a bit. RNG not playing fair.
Yes, indeed. For those who don't know, there is a glitch in the moth fight where the moth is invincible whenever they are over the spikes. And since their movement pattern is entirely RNG dependent, this can be one of the quickest fights or one of the longest. and there's just not much you can do about it, but anglhz makes it through with 1 heart to their name.
No problem. Radical in Thieves Town finds the big key and heads straight for the back. And hopefully their co-op partner Jawsome told them about the tempered sword next to the attic.
Meanwhile, speaking of Jawsome, they have just collected their ice rod for item go mode, and they're heading up the mountain to put it to use in Turtle Rock.
Dorana heading through Palace of Darkness. Once Jawsome gets done with Turtle Rock, they only need to do Mire, and then they can go do Ganon's Tower, and then Agawan, and then Ganon themselves.
In fact, it occurs to me they can, if they so choose, since Mire is a pendant, they can go straight from Turtle to GT and hit Mire after.
Good point. Although after doing GT, they would end up on the pyramid, which would make it convenient to get Agawan from there. Well, everyone has tempered swords now. Somewhat interesting that anglhz and Radical Sniper are doing the dungeons in almost the exact same order at this point.
Yes, indeed. Right down to heading to Skull Woods before Thieves Town. Chat pointing out it might have been slightly more optimal to do Thieves Town first. Grab that tempered sword, which makes the moth fight a little easier.
And as far as go mode with Turtle Rock, it's not necessarily that easy, as you have to get all the keys necessary to get down there, so for most of the dungeon, it's pretty much full clear no matter what. Only Laser Bridge is the exception in there.
Yes, indeed. There are a couple of small time skips that one might be able to do depending on key layout. Might be able to skip the vanilla big key chest. Might be able to skip the big chest if one has found enough small keys before that point. And folks in chat wanting to know how the scoring works, it does work by average of the two players' times on a team. So even the player who is behind is still going to need to execute well.
Jawsome ending up going to 0 heart and using their fairy. Hopefully that was not quite unplanned.
But lucking out with a very convenient fairy drop from the Pokey, refilling that bottle, and heading into the rest of Turtle Rock with safeties intact.
The good thing that Chomp's got a hit in, and those things hit really hard. Radical Sniper working on the icebreaker glitch. And gets it.
Meanwhile, Angle's picking up their red cane, and I believe last of our Forerunners entering item go mode.
Radical doing some more checks as they go through Ice Palace, just whatever convenient chests there are. No silvers or butter yet.
Jawsome is opting to steal the key in Turtle Rock and leave behind that center chest in this pipe room.
Who wants to bet silvers were there?
That would be a heck of a find for Noble Foxes if they opt to check that. Dorana with a very clean zero-cycle turtle room.
No, stealing that key is a standard tactic in Turtle Rock, so I don't see Noble Foxes going for that one.
I agree. You have to feel pretty behind before you start going quite that far out of your way when you've already got tempered blue mail, half magic, the vast majority of the safeties that you want to have going into the end game.
Radical taking down Cold Stare. Oh, we have some deviation. Angles did not go to Ice Palace. Oh no. Dorana finishing up with Palace of Darkness while Jawsome starts heading towards the bottom of Turtle Rock.
Jawsome has to be feeling pretty good about picking up that fairy, getting down to one heart, but knowing in the back of your mind, it's okay. It's okay, I got this lady right here. She'll take care of me.
Also, stealing that key pays off as they don't even need to look at Laser Bridge. Get through that room of Turtle Rock with just one Cane of Samaria hit. Very nice.
And we're seeing a Trinex fight, another fight that is made just so much nicer by the addition of Quick Swap. No need to menu in between our two rods. No need to remember to menu before the explosions happening, which prevent you from doing so. Just swapping freely, making it a nice, quick, easy fight.
Having Tempered Sword helps quite a bit as well.
Angles heading into their Landmo fight. Let's see if we can get a quadfecta on the quick fire rod kills.
Finding red armor on Trinex, so now they are very well equipped. Looks like Jawsome may be headed for GT. So in chat, if you'd like to guess where the big key location is, you can guess a number from 1 to 22, and please hurry, because as soon as they enter, the guessing game will be over.
I mean, you can guess a number above 22 if you really want to. It just might negatively affect your chances of winning.
Apologies for the late start on that, chat. We didn't quite know which way they were going to go. Alright, let's see what we got. Number 1 is 3 bombs. Number 2 is a red rupee. Number 3 is a key, but a small one.
As we enter our end game here, looks like Amish Paradise does still have a comfortable but not insurmountable lead, with Radical Sniper trailing their teammate by just about a dungeon here.
And we got through 7 chests and have not found the big key yet. Jawsome going for the right side now. Skips the tile room chest, as is common. So we will have chests 8 through 11 in this next room.
Gibdo's being a little rude here.
As Gibdos do. "11 chests down and no big key yet."
We are down to Bob's chest or the 3 chests post Ice Armos, I believe.
And also Rendo room.
Oh, yes, you're correct, Jocelyn.
And everyone's favorite tile room.
Yes.
Dorana working on Icebreaker over in Ice Palace, and Angle is taking on Vitreous.
Angle's entering one-hit KO mode, assuming they don't have a safety hiding in their bottle.
Chest number 12 has red goo. Or as I call it, ragu.
Angle's taking a death unless there's a fairy to save him. There is!
Safe. Radical Sniper making their way towards Trinex. Chest number 13 coming up. A single arrow.
And with bow in tow, Angle's making short work of that final phase of Vitreous. Picking up the green pendant.
Now we get chests 14 through 17. All duds. So we have, let's see, is that 4 chests left or 5? 18. 5 chests left.
Correct. Bob's chest, the 3 past Ice Armos, and then everyone's favorite tile chest.
Amish finishing up with Turtle Rock. We'll see if they head over to GT as well. It would make sense. Number 18, Bob's chest. Bob was removed earlier when we took the item. Oh, they missed the chest. That could be bad. But we will keep counting depending on what chest they checked, not what chest they missed.
Yes, indeed. The way the game works, we count according to the first person
So
to
this
enter
is-
GT.
It's in chest 18. So
Radical
whoever
Sniper knows exactly where they need to go to grab that chest.
guessed chest 18, you win our undying love and affection.
I mean, everybody else has it too, but you're the only one who earned it.
Our lucky winner this time was Mighty Metric Batman. Well done. And yes, whoever guessed 19 was unfortunately missed their flight. Amish Paradise with a very clear lead at this point.
Radical Sniper opting to go a screen out of the way in exchange for a red goo, just making the rest of this climb that little bit safer.
Some good communication between teammates there. Having 10 hearts at the end game is not terrible, but it is kind of low.
Made a little bit more palatable by that handy red mail, of course.
Of course. Now Jawsome is heading through the gauntlet of GT.
Very aggressive mini Helmasaur, giving Radical Sniper some problems.
Should note that Jawsome only has one small key, so they will have to get a second one further up the tower.
Fortunately, there is a guaranteed drop from a mini Helmasaur towards the end of his climb.
Dorana heading into Vitreous.
Vitreous just not making life easy for anybody today. But
That fairy's been coming in handy, that's for sure.
meanwhile, anglhz taking down Cold Stare quite handily. With just one more dungeon left to go before they enter their own GT climb.
Radical Sniper mirroring back to the front of GT. As chat points out, looking for arrows and finally got some. Yeah, you need to make sure you have enough arrows for those Igors. Sorry, not Igors, Mimics. And Jawsome heading up for Moldorm 2. And quickly takes care of it. And we find the Cane of Berna in Moldorm 2's chest. The cape has not been found at all.
So we are looking at a silverless Ganon fight today, but with red mail, half magic, tempered sword. Should be a very doable one.
Getting a nice triple shot there. Three, 1, 2 for Jawsomesauce. Now, I'm not sure in all dungeons if you can drop down to Ganon before you've finished all the dungeons or not, but they will have to finish all dungeons for sure.
You are free to drop down to Ganon anytime after defeating Aga 2, but he's just going to laugh at you.
And they are heading up for Aga 1.
Radical clearing their Landmo 2, making their way up the wrist of the gauntlet. Giving me heart palpitations for a moment there. Ending their quick swap on mirror, but... That hasn't gotten me yet since quick swap's been legalized in races, but sooner or later, it's bound to happen.
Definitely. Get a little turtle rock stink from Dorana and anglhz.
And for those who aren't familiar with Quick Swap, it is a feature, a quality of life feature added to Randomizer, enabled on the final screen before you download your randomized ROM, that allows you to cycle through items with the otherwise unused L and R buttons. Until recently was only race legal in entrance randomizer seeds, but has since been legalized both here in the league and on the ALTTPR ladder, and I believe in the SG Live tournament that is running this fall as well.
And Radical making their way up to Ganon right now, Aga 2 right now.
As Jawsome enters their Aga 1.
They had a bit of issue with the super speed glitch there. Once super speed glitch is activated, you can't swing your sword until, I believe, you hit the dash button again, something like that.
anglhz, perhaps feeling a bit behind, opts to risk skipping Big Chest. I don't recall whether this is set to bite them or not. No, they are clear to clear the dungeon, finding that small key in the roller room.
And I haven't been able to count the blue balls from Aga 1, but they go down very quickly, so there weren't that many. And one final dungeon, and that would be Misery Mire. Radical Sniper already making their way up to Aga 1. Radical Sniper being the unfortunate recipient of too much damage from Vitreous earlier, which might have saved them a bit of time. But I think wisely leaving Vitreous where they were until they had better equipment.
Absolutely. I believe knowing by that point that they were not going to find progression on that boss anyway. You can handle him whenever you feel like it.
Angle's taking a death on Trinex, but still has a fairy.
I believe that's the third, maybe fourth clutch fairy save that we've seen on a boss fight in this race.
Easily. Clearly the fairies are the real heroes of Hyrule. Angles takes down Trinex and Dorana heading their way up there.
Radical Sniper taking down Aga 1 as Jawsomesauce takes a couple of fire rod swings before triggering that spooky glitch and moving on to Vitreous.
Dorana ending up with ice on the floor. That's not a fun time with Trinex. Not sure if they still have a fairy.
I couldn't tell you either, but if they don't, they're going to want to be a little careful here.
Looks like they are being careful. But they take him down.
Jawsomesauce making short work of Vitreous. And we're about to see a pig fight in just a few moments here.
Angle's looking for that GT big key. Noble Foxes does not know where that big key is yet, so they may save a little bit of time if they go full left. However, given Amish Paradise's positioning at this point, they are virtually a shoe-in for the win. Ganon saying that he would prefer to be a spicy barbacoa burrito.
And this is the first of two matches that these two teams will be facing off. The next is lined up for this coming Sunday, so Noble Foxes Academy will have their chance to bring it back.
Jawsome taking some hits on Ganon here, using that hook shot to help.
I believe they still have their red potion in their back pocket. And they may very well need it. Taking another hit. Now in one-hit KO territory with only one heart left.
Managed to dodge that fire pretty well.
Yep. It's pretty rare to take any damage from this point on in the fight.
I can see the sword sword spin's part possibly taking damage, but let the fire loose there. And takes a hit. Oh, but had a fairy in reserve.
Ah.
Fairies once again saving the day.
Yep. Can't count him out this seed.
Does get the torch glitch. Makes it easier to do this. At least in my mind.
Meanwhile, both halves of Noble Foxes in GT. Angle's about to discover that big key. Past the Ice Armos while Dorana checks full right side.
Convenient that they ended up there at the same time so they could check basically both sides at the same time. And Radical dropping in.
Yeah.
To fight the big pig. And I missed this earlier, but apparently again it says the silvers are internal rock. So there's a possibility they were in that big key chest.
Possible. Also, I don't
Or
believe
Laser
anybody
Bridge.
checked Laser Bridge, yeah.
I don't think so. And down goes the big pig for Jawsome.
Jawsome finishing with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 26 minutes, and 41 seconds.
Radical not too far behind. So they'll have an excellent average time between them. Angle's starting their climb up GT with Dorana going for the big key. Radical with some nice spin sword strats, firing the fire shot as they use the spin. Looks like Angles also needs some arrows.
Pulling out the shovel for the dig of shame. We saw this same maneuver in the last race on this channel as Radical Sniper takes down their own pig. Finishing with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, 13 seconds. Amish Paradise both finishing with an average team time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, 27 seconds. And taking this particular match.
Well done. Angle's just barely getting those arrows in. Managed to get past it. Dorana barely has enough arrows for this.
Yep, it's never a good feeling knowing that you're just one bad BMOS hit away from running out of arrows all over again.
Only 1 heart of health. Anti-fairy not making things easy. There we go.
Speaking of bad BMOS hits, they're being quite cruel to Dorana in the upper left there.
To their credit, they're managing to not waste any shots here. Having trouble with the lineup there. Nicely done. And today our pedestal held a full hard refill. Both of our noble foxes now making their way through Gauntlet.
Ango's having a little problem with that Wizrobes too, but making it through and heading into Torch Room.
And just to note, they will have to do Aggle 1 before they can go after the big pig.
Correct. And it looks like we will be joined by Jawsomesauce and Jesse RadicalSniper99 for our interview segment whenever they're ready. Congratulations, Amish Paradise, for taking this match. How do you feel?
Hey, that was fun.
Yeah, that was great.
The bottle and the fairy in the bottle really came in handy today, didn't it?
Yeah. At the end of it, for
I'll
sure.
question its use since I wasted it on a terrible Vidi fight, but yeah,
That looked like a really rough time.
I was not happy because that was right after, like, I don't know if anybody noticed, but like at 5 minutes, my controller just stopped working and I was going right the whole time, so I had to pretty much restart.
Yeah,
from
we
scratch.
did see that.
And I'm already on tilt, and then dying to Vidi kind of just was like not the way I wanted to start a race. Especially knowing like we were in go mode at that moment. Like you don't want to, you realize you're in a jet seed and you're like, please.
Well, it seems like you recovered pretty well after that.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying to Jaws the whole time, I was like, he was routing ahead of me the whole time, and it was just so helpful. Like, he was feeding me the next spot. He was like, yep, here's your route for this dungeon. So, like, made, you look at the times, and I finish a minute and a half behind for that. Like, take it.
Yeah, I thought that was really awesome that y'all finished very nearly at the same time.
I think it was fun. The items were coming in so fast that I had to like abandon my tracker. I was just like, I can't catch up, so I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, wow, the seed is opening up really, really fast. Even the go mode item, I believe it was Kino Samaria for y'all.
Yes.
It didn't take long to find.
Well, and that was the thing. Like, as soon as I got that glove on Hobo, I was like, okay, I'm going to head up the mountain after you. Let me get everything I need so I can do Dark Death Mountain at the same time. And, the question is, what do you do after that for Dark World? And Jaws is like, I'm going to just go do Swamp because he can full clear Swamp. I'm like, go for it. And as soon as I finished Dark Death Mountain and found Ether and Lamp, I was like, well, let's check what Meyer medallion is because I've got TR medallion. Let's check out Meyer. Oh, Meyer's Ether as well? Great. Well, let's clear Desert, and then I'll do Checkerboard and Agena. And I get in the Checkerboard, and I'm like, well, never mind. We're in Go.
Okay,
Let's
then.
just go.
And one of the things that happened too there was because it did Swamp and got the bow, it pushed to Pod Eastern, so we'd never had to go to Skullwoods and Thieves Town and do all those checks. So I think we made up so much time just being pushed away from the easy, where we would normally go as an opening for Dark World.
Yeah, following the item logic really seemed to work in this seed.
Yeah, like I think my collection with a reset says 95, and Jaws, you were like 114?
120, yeah.
120, so like, you know, figure almost nothing in the village thieves skull area. Like, I think the only thing that got checked was like Hype Cave and Dark World.
Pretty much.
And Bombo's tablet.
And of course, once you had only Master Sword, you were looking for an additional item for the Ganon fight.
Yeah, that was pretty much the whole conversation, was like, okay, just checks along the way, you know. So when he said attic for thieves, it was like, okay, that's good. You know, we'll still look along the way. Maybe we'll find silvers, which I'm guessing they were Laser Bridge or Lava Island.
That's the guess. The Noble Foxes did not check anything else either, so we're not sure where it is.
Okay.
I did make a guess while we were watching that perhaps the silvers would be in Lava Chest.
I think we made the joke. Wait, Jaws, you made that exact joke.
Yeah. Like, it's probably silvers and lava chests. Yeah.
He's like, oops, I opened Lava Chest door. Kidding.
Yeah. I think what's so funny about AD seeds is it's like when you have the dungeons after, like you've done the game and then it's like, oh, we have to do Misery Mire now before we can fight Ganon. Like it's like trying to figure out the order you should do them, and it's really fun. It's a different part of the game.
Yeah, that became a discussion right at the end, or right as, you know, we're both in go mode. I'm like, okay, no, I think, you know, grab your Ice Rod, grab your cane, clear desert, go to Death Mountain. We'll worry about Mire last. Like, save time.
Yeah, for someone like
there's a double dip somewhere in there.
For someone like me who hasn't done a whole lot of AD, it didn't even occur to me that once you have the crystals, you can go to GT no matter what and leave the pendant dungeons for later, which is what y'all did.
Yeah, we've been practicing a good amount. So, like, you know, some of those little, like, weird things, you know, or some of the oddities that you find. I didn't do a practice last night, but Jaws and Zero, our third member of the team, both did a seed last night with some Go Mode items in GT itself. So, you know, getting comfortable with those parts of the AD format, you know, if you're not used to it, it's definitely going to feel a little different.
Well, the practice spears have paid off.
Looks like Anglz is heading into their pig fight at the moment. Let's see how they do.
And Dorana is working their way up Aga 1. Any other feelings on the seed? Anything that you got surprised by or amused you?
We'll say it's interesting. We were talking before about just nerves. The first race of the league, you know, we don't have a lot of experience with doing a lot of racing. That's, you know, more public, I guess, on, you know, streaming. And so, but having, you know, the two of us, is like with Radical Sniper's controller, I'm just saying, don't worry, we'll make it up. Like, we're working as a team. This will be fine. Like, where individually, if that happened to me, I'd almost just be tilted out of the game to start. So having the teammate action really helps, especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good that y'all hit that early, so if it happens again, you'll be ready for it.
That was the thing. Like, I wanted to save and quit because I was like, I've got the boots. Like, even if I don't do anything else, like, I could have saved and quit, reloaded, you know, everything, and just gone and done, like, Uncle or Saha at that moment, because, you know, we knew, hey, there's a sword at both of those places. But yeah.
Meanwhile, looks like Anglz is getting close to finishing off Ganon.
And for anybody who's, you know, the folks watching, if they haven't done a co-op seed before, like, it's really fun. Like, just to grab a friend or grab someone online, even in the Discords, and just do a co-op seed, because it's amazing how different the game is when you're working as a team and trying to do something else. Like for example, with Hera, you know, I couldn't do the basement yet, but Radical Sniper could, so he got to go in there and tell me what's going on to find out if I have to go back. Like, there's just a lot of nuances that you only get as a co-op, so definitely try that out.
It's a lot of fun of a mode. Even before, like, I think the last week we've done a lot more practice, but like, I know I've been hanging out with a group of friends the last 3 or 4 weeks, with members of Actually, one of the members of NHO, New Hyrule Order, has a Discord where a bunch of us just hang out, and we were practicing for the last 3 weeks. And, you know, even if it wasn't like me and Jaws, me and Zero, or Jaws and Zero running a practice, like, oh, hey, this team has an odd man out tonight. Can somebody join with them? Okay, you know, and just race with somebody, because really co-op's more about kind of learning your low percent stuff. Because a lot of your open AD seeds, what are you going to do? You're going to collect, you know, 15 plus hearts. You're going to find the silver arrows. You're going to find the tempered or butter sword. You're going to have 4 bottles, you know. So having that experience with some of your lesser fights is nice.
Sorry to break in here. Looks like anglhz has indeed finished. Not sure what the official SRL time is, or race time is. I believe Ben would have that.
Yep, looks like anglhz finished with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 5 seconds, as Dorana is entering their own Ganon fight.
So it looks like their average time will be somewhere in the low 140s. Again, really good time from Amish Paradise, that average time being about 127 or so.
Absolutely, even by co-op standards for an all dungeon seeds, where go mode or not, you're having to complete the entire game. That is a very fast time.
Yeah, as they mentioned, doing co-op means you basically only have to check chests once between you, so you can very easily divide up the duties, and their collection rates show it. Normally these collection rates are in the 130s, 150s, but these are very, very low.
Yeah, I think the only thing, like, I joked when I was in Thieves, I still grabbed Blind Cell, and I think there were a few other chests that I still grabbed, and it's like muscle memory.
Yep,
you know,
absolutely.
You go into a room and you're like, I always grab that chest. Like, it's right there.
Chests are fun. Get them all.
We're conditioned.
Yes, we are definitely conditioned for it.
Sea chest must open.
Yep. I mean, it's the same thing when, like, I started learning a little bit of NMG, like, dabbling in that. And it's like, you go into Thieves Town, you're like, you only need to grab the 4th one. You don't need to grab the others. First time you do a full run, or you're in a full run, you're like, rando brain.
Maybe they should make a alteration of this game where some of the chests are mimics. That would really mess with people.
Awesome.
Next holiday variation that the developers do.
Too late for Halloween. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, steal from steal from Zooter and the ice traps.
Aha.
And it looks like Dorana has just finished their pig fight with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 2 seconds.
GG's.
GG's to Noble Fox's Academy with an average time of 1 hour, 41 minutes, 33 seconds.
And looks like we are joined by Noble Fox's. GG's.
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 GG.
GG, friends.
So what did y'all think about that seed?
Quite an interesting one, because there was a really cool golden road through all of it.
How about those fairies, huh? They saved the day, I believe.
Yeah.
For all 4 runners, the fairies saved a lot of boss fight issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big lack of blue potions early game in this.
Really, and I believe only 10 or 11 hearts for everybody, really.
Yeah, I'm on 10.
The seed went into go mode quite fast. I didn't even realize we were in go mode when we were.
Yeah, that's very understandable. It opened up really quickly, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, go mode.
Yeah, I was curious about that, Dorana. I saw you checking a few chests after going into go mode. I was wondering if you were feeling nervous about a potential Master Sword Silverless Ganon fight, or what was going through your head there.
No, it's simply I just happened too fast, and all of a sudden we just realized, like, oh wait, we're in go mode.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. It was just too quick.
And if I remember correctly, I believe Dorana was up on Death Mountain, but before they had any gloves. No, wait, it was the sword that they didn't have to open up Moon Pearl on the tablet, correct?
Yeah. I just saw the text and realized, well, we're gonna have a little hunt, but Angels found the sword quite fast after that.
Yeah, it was in a very beautiful location.
Well, thank you all for providing us with a great race. As we're showing on the channel, we're showing the schedule for the next races coming up. I believe next, if I'm reading that correctly, is Spoiled Leftovers versus Skewed by 6 Cubed. And that'll be happening here, let's see, in a couple hours, it looks like. But how about any final thoughts from our racers on the seed?
I don't really have much. I mean, GG everybody. That was a cool first race, I guess.
Yeah, and I just want to mention like the time you guys finished in. That's a pretty quick run.
I'd say what, Jaws go mode at 35 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah. When Jaws first went up the mountain, he didn't have a glove but had both swords. I found first glove at Hobo and second glove wherever it was. And so by the time I went up to Death Mountain, I had the Dark Death Mountain checks. So, and then right after I checked Dark Death Mountain, I went straight to Mire area. So at that point, yeah. And while I was doing those, Jaws went to Swamp. So he got the bow. So yeah, we kind of veered away from traditional Dark World routing, and it really worked out perfectly for those dungeons.
It did indeed. And chat is reminding us that y'all hit go mode at around 31 minutes, while the other team got it around 35 minutes. So very close together, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of did similar route here with going into Swamp super early.
Yep, and as you both mentioned, there was almost no West Dark World done at all until the very end when you were go moding. Once you found the Tempered Sword, you were pretty much done.
Yeah.
Any thoughts from my commentator, Ben?
Thanks, guys, for putting on a great stream. Thank you to our trackers and our restreamers, and to the ALTTPR League for organizing all of this fun stuff. And to those of you at home, stay tuned. We have 6 more weeks after this one of Swiss, followed by the playoffs. Lots of good stuff to watch.
And I think with that, we can go ahead and wrap up. Thank you, Noble Foxes and Amish. Good luck on your next race. And thank you, Ben, for your commentary. And again, thank you, Trekkers and Restream. Appreciate all your hard work. And I want to wish you all the good rest of the day.